Data sufficiency, our next chapter for logical reasoning. First, let's try to understand the concept of data sufficiency. Data sufficiency means you need to check whether the data given in the two statements is sufficient to answer the question asked or not. You need to find a unique answer to the question asked. More than one answer is not allowed. Now, each question of data sufficiency consists of a question and two statements numbered 1 and 2 given below it. You have to decide whether the data provided in the statements are sufficient to answer the question. Read both the statements and then give the answer. So straight away going through some examples. Example 1. Here the question is, in which year was Rahul born? And the statements are, statement 1, Rahul at present is 25 years younger to his mother. Statement 2, Rahul's brother who was born in 1964 is 35 years younger to his mother. Now in this case, we will need the information from both statement 1 and 2 to find the exact year of birth of Rahul. We'll first find the information of the difference between the age of Rahul and his brother, that is 35 minus 25, that is equal to 10. Then after that, as we know the year of birth of Rahul's brother who is 10 years younger to him, then we'll just subtract 10 years from the year of birth of Rahul's brother, which will give 1954 as the required year of birth. Hence here both 1 and 2 are sufficient. Then we'll see the second example. Here the question is, what will be the total weight of 10 poles, each of the same weight? And the statement are, first statement is 1/4 of the weight of each pole is 5 kg, and the second statement is the total weight of 3 poles is 20 kg more than the total weight of 2 poles. Now from statement 1, if we know the 1/4 of the weight of each pole, then we'll also know the weight of each pole. That will be 4 times of 5 kg equals to 20 kg. Then we simply have to multiply it 10 times to get the weight of 10 poles. So 1 is sufficient. And from the second statement, it can be known that weight of 3 poles is 20 kg more than the weight of 2 poles. So weight of 1 pole is equal to 20 kg. So the weight of 10 poles will be 20 into 10, that is equal to 200 kg. So statement 2 is also sufficient. So here either 1 or 2 is sufficient. Next example. Here the question is, how is no coded in the code language? The first statement is, Napa Siklo means but, no, none, and Palo Lene means if, none and but. Now if we compare both the phrases, then there is only one word which is different. In the first phrase it is no, and the second phrase it is if, and all the other words in the phrases are same. So if we pick out all the common words in the two phrases, then in the first phrase the word which is a leftover is no, and here no is represented by the code sick. But if we look at statement 2, then we can see that in both the phrases 2 words are not common. In the first phrase it is no and will, and in the second phrase it is not and all. Hence it is not possible to decode the meaning of the word no from statement 2. Next example. The question here is, who among P, Q, T, V and M is exactly in the middle when they are arranged in ascending order of their heights? And the statements are, the first statement, V is taller than Q but shorter than M, and the second statement, T is taller than Q and M but shorter than P. Now here from statement 1, we know that M is greater than V greater than Q, and from statement 2, we know that T is greater than Q, T is greater than M and P is greater than T. So to get the required answer, we have to combine both, and combining them we will get P greater than T greater than M greater than V greater than Q. Hence clearly M is in the middle. So here both 1 and 2 are sufficient, because to find the answer we need both the statements. Next example. Here the question is, what is Suman's rank from the top in a class of 40 students. The statements here are: first student, Suman is 3 ranks below Deepak from the top. Second statement is Deepak's rank from the bottom is 23. The third statement is Suman is 3 ranks above Deepak from the bottom. Now here if we take statement 2 first, then we can see that Deepak's rank from the bottom is 23. Now from a group of 40 students, if Deepak's rank from the bottom is 23, then from the top his rank will be 18. Now let's combine statement 1 with statement 2. Statement 1 says Suman is 3 ranks below Deepak from the top. Now we know that Deepak's rank is 18, so Suman's rank will be 18 plus 3, that will be 21. Then let's combine statement 2 and statement 3, where statement 3 says Suman is 3 ranks above Deepak from the bottom. Now Deepak's rank from the bottom is 23rd, so Suman's rank from the bottom will be 23 minus 3, that is could be 20th. So if she is 20th rank from the bottom, then she will be 21st rank from the top. So in this case, along with statement 2, if you take either statement 1 or statement 3, then both the cases we are getting the answer. Next example. Here the question is 5 persons A, B, C, D, E are sitting in a row. Who is sitting in the middle? And the statements are: first statement, B is between E and C. Second statement, B is to the right of E. And third statement, D is between A and E. Now from statement 1 we get that as B is between E and C, then it can be EBC or CBE. From 2 we are getting the order as E and B. Now as statement 3 is saying that D is between A and E, so the order we are getting here is ADE. So now by combining the 3, we are getting the order as ADE, B and C. So clearly E is sitting in the middle. And to get this answer, we require the information from all 3 statements. So here all 1, 2 and 3 together are sufficient.